Hello, guys, and welcome to Writing Comics. I'm Jerry. I'm the creator of a comic called Ever Matter. It's a comic based on Celtic mythology and sci-fi, so it's based in sci-fi universe. And a lot of times, I get in the habit of, or I have a habit of getting stuck on um, topics, on decisions that I have to make. And one of those decisions that I will have to make eventually is whether or not in my Indiegogo campaign I need to release a PDF file or a digital file. At the moment, I feel like that's not something I can do or that I'm willing to do because of the fact that it makes pirating a little bit easier. And also, I think that it takes away from the collectability. I really believe that the new market is indie comics, and I think that these indie comics will eventually be the collectible comics of the future, like the comics were in the 90s when everything was new and fresh. I think that the indie guys are producing the real comics that everyone loves and everyone likes. And I think that people are gravitating toward those books. And because they're independent and they're funded mostly by backers on Indiegogo, I believe that they are Kickstarter. They're mostly crowdfunded. I believe that those comics with the limited prints are going to be the collector items of the future. So I believe that if you release a independent comic, that it would be not an independent comic, but I believe that if you would release a digital comic, that it takes away from that collectible value. I'm not saying that my book will, I'm not being arrogant saying that my book will ever be a collectible or something that people are just clamoring to get a hold of. I'm just saying that some of these books with the amazing art that I've seen on these Indiegogo campaigns, and I was just watching the John Malin stream while I was waiting on 7:30 so that I could start my stream. I was watching those guys talk about their books, and the art was just amazing. And I really believe that the indie comic books are going to be the collectible books of the future. So what I thought I would do is to help me make that decision is maybe open up the stream to allow people to come on and speak their mind if they so wish to, or to just speak in the chat. And I thought I would just post the link to the stream in the chat so that I could start putting people in queue and just giving them a few minutes to give the pros or the cons or why they think that you should release a indie comic book on a PDF, or why you shouldn't release that book with a PDF on your Indiegogo campaign. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to link the stream. There it is. That is the link to get into the stream. If you're interested in joining me to discuss this topic, then I ask you to just hit the just join, and I'll get you in here. But okay, so let's go through the pros and the cons of a PDF. So basically, what I've just said is the big con is the fact that it can be pirated easily. It's easy for someone to take your book and put it on a website that has lots of traffic, lots of views, and then your book is I can't speak. Your book is distributed among several websites, and then among a lot of people, it ultimately causing you to lose any revenue that you would have made to help you pay for your book. The other big, but the I've also seen it's not just because you don't release digitally doesn't mean that your book will not be pirated, because I've seen YouTube channels where guys take books and they just film the entire book, they sell them to music, or just about the entire book. There may be one or two panels that they don't put in the video, and I think that's just to help them sleep better at night. Maybe they say they're not copying the entire book, but it is basically the entire book that they put on YouTube, page by page, set to music, and so that you don't even have to buy the book, or you don't have to read the book. You can just kind of sit there and watch the video and watch as the screens flick by and get the entire story of the book. So just because you don't release it digitally doesn't mean that your book won't be pirated, because there are ways and there are people that are doing that. There's several channels that do that, and they have large numbers of subscribers too. I think the channel I was watching had something like 20,000 subscribers, so that's a lot to be, taking someone's work and giving it away for free. Because if you are a creator, you know that it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of money to produce a comic book. The other big con is the fact that I said earlier that I think that the indie books that we are producing now as independent creators are going to be the collectible books in the future. So the con in that is that when you release it digitally, I think it takes something away from that. There's just something about having a piece of art that you can hold in your hand and that you could read through, just something you can, it's just better as a book. And I think that the collectability just dies when you release it. Uh, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I think the collectability just dies whenever you release that book digitally. It just does something. It's just not the same. And I was watching. I know I mentioned Malin a lot, but I was watching John earlier on one of the streams. I can't remember which one it was, but he was saying that whenever you do your campaign and you say that you're going to end your campaign, that you should end your campaign. And like, he just gave his viewers notice that he was going to end his campaign and that he was going to run it for 30 extra days, extend it for 30 days, and then he was going to end it, and that would be the end of it. And I think that that's a good idea. I think that that's something that I may think about going forward, because I want my book to have value, and the fewer books that are out there, the more value your book will have. As long as it's not trash, as long as you have something of quality that people want, I think that it would be beneficial to you to think about that as well. I hope that everything is going well for you guys. I hope that everything is that if you are a creator, that you are moving along, that 2020 you've set a resolution to continue your work and to continue to do the things that it is that you have desire to do, whether that's writing your comic book or whether that's drawing your comic. Those things, you have to prioritize those. So back to the pros and cons. I'm getting off track, but back to the pros and cons. So what is another con that I can think of releasing digitally is the collectible issue. Well, I mentioned the collectible issue. I mentioned the pirate issue. And I think that those are the biggest two as far as cons go. So what are the pros of not releasing digitally? I think that the biggest pro is that you have I think that the biggest pro of not releasing digitally is that you have it helps to set value for your book. It helps to give your book more value, and the fact that it's a little bit harder to pirate. Although if you're looking at not releasing digitally because of the pirating issue, I don't think that that's a very strong pro, because like I said, people can just record your book and post it online anytime they want. So those are my thoughts on releasing digitally at the moment. I don't think that I would, because like I said, I think that it helps the value of your book by not releasing digitally. I don't think that I would do that. I don't think that I would be willing to put my book out there digitally, because I just think that there's a better aesthetic with it printed, because it's just something about getting that package in the mail and opening up the unboxing of that package, and you've got your book there and you've got whatever extras you send with it, and it's just, there's that feeling that you get that you can't get digitally by opening that package. And I think that that brings a lot of value to publishing your book other than publishing it digitally. And I've spoken a lot about pirating. I think that there are unscrupulous people out there that will take your property and put it on whatever websites they use to disseminate, or was that word? It's not disseminate, distribute that work. I think that Reddit is a good place for people to do that to your work, give it away for free, and it doesn't bring any value to you if people aren't paying you for the work that you did, or paying you for the work that you've paid other people to do for you. So If you have any thoughts on the subject yourself, you could post them in the comments, or you can join my stream by hitting the link that I've posted in chat. I'm kind of sitting here talking to myself at the moment, so um, I think I'm going to end it now because I've talked for about it for 10 minutes and I've about run out of things to say about it. So, hey, what? Let me know in the comment section below if you were not able to catch the stream live. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Should you post your comic digitally? Should you post your on your Indiegogo campaign? Should you release that PDF, or should you keep it print? Um, oh, I've got one thing. I got a page from Evermatter that I can show. Yep, let me do that because I posted a part of the page on Twitter. The lettering is not done, but it's a print. It's a well, then lost everything. Here, it's a print of Bind Quorum and share screen. There we go. I'm still learning this program here, so let's see. See if I can get it to come up. I don't know. Can you see that? I don't think you can. Well, I don't think I can get it to come up. So sorry about that. It's not pulling the. It won't pull the. It won't pull the art up. But you can see it on Twitter. You can see Bind Quorum. Bind Quorum is the master of all things magical. Bind Quorum has been. He gave away something. I need to stop the screen share. He gave away something that was not, and he just trusted too much. So he's a broken man. He's been stripped of everything that he cares about. Bind Quorum is a great character. I love him. I hope that you do too. But anyway, this is Jerry with Writing Comics. You follow me on Twitter at Jerry Unbound, and I hope that all your dreams come true and that your imagination runs wild. I'll catch you next time. Have a great night.